Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy. I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. Today, I'd like to talk to you of another underrated film that you need to check out. You should check out. And let me tell you, you need to check this out, especially if you love science fiction. Now, this is a television show that's fairly new. It came out last year and it was on HBO Max, which is now Max. Now it's on and owned bought by Netflix. I'm going to presume HBO Max didn't have too much faith into it because of its weirdness. And this show is called Scavenger's Reign. Now, I don't recall or remember any of the actors. I don't recognize really any of them. So I'm not going to bother listing them in. Well, except for the video. I mean, I'm not going to bother saying it. So this is a science fiction body horror adventure film, adventure series, and it centers around three groups that are trying to make their way to their mothership known as the Demeter, trapped on this weird, unusual planet. And I'm gonna tell you, this planet is unusual. It's weird. It's fascinating. This is a fascinating watch, and the reason I say that because the things that do go on into this planet, you focused on three groups. Yeah, three. One of them, a lady and her robot are trying to figure out a way to get back to Demeter, and there's more of a scientist too. You have a captain and one of the survivors of the crash site. I don't think the lady, she could be an assistant. I don't think they really dive into it, but they do establish a relationship, not romantic, and they're trying to find their way back to Demeter, but they also encounter some strange habits along the way. And then you have another character who encounters an unusual, weird creature, one of the aliens on it, and the alien has its unusual, weird agendas for this human, while that human's also dealing with some personal uh circumstances going on internally that he's trying to overcome, most specifically his relationships. So it's very interesting to kind of see how these stories collide, where there's a where the story kind of applies where a lot of these characters don't know each other that well, maybe by reputation, but it's good to know each of these stories, these stories that intertwine, do have their own arc, and it's good to see where this is going to go, because it doesn't tell you exactly, it doesn't feel predictable. It doesn't feel like you can predict what's going on or what's going to happen, because I think each character is flawed out extremely well, and there's enough ideas in here that makes you crave for crave for the interest of what's going to happen next. There's a lot of ideas that get explored that's really, I think, really thought provoking, but a lot of awesome visual, stunning images that might disturb some, freak some people out, because, and again, you're centered on a bunch of scientists on a weird remote planet that they don't know anything about. They do try to learn as much as they can, but some weird, unusual um activities do take place on it, and it does get weird. And that's what I really loved about this. This is weird. This is wacky. This is just weirdly, like, even weirder than Alex Garland's Annihilation, and I do like that film. This series, I think it's only what, maybe like 12 episodes? 12? Yeah, 12 episodes. And they do change it up to try to make things a little bit more engaging along the way. I mean, they do encounter new characters that do have their ties to the world. And when I tell you this, that it gets freakier the more you check it out. It gets very it gets very suspenseful. Now, I will say this for those who aren't really into weird sci-fis. Sometimes it gets a little bit philosophical, but not too much. The series tries to balance out exploration to horror to character development, and I think they really do a good job with character development very well. It doesn't feel like there's nothing that feels forced to where you either have to root, you have to hate a character or anything because each story it's flawed, it's fleshed out to where you see these characters doing things and they have their own agendas for why they're doing it, especially on this remote planet trying to survive. It gets very freaky. And I ain't gonna lie to you, there are some pretty engaging moments in this series that I ain't gonna lie to you, may turn people away because of its weird uniqueness. And for a cartoon, for an adult cartoon, it does get strange. And I do love it. I love it. I love it. Visually, this is probably one of the best hand drawn American animated shows that I've seen in a long time. And I can tell you, I didn't hear much about this series until it came on Netflix. And I am glad I've seen it. Dude, this is a weird show. What I really actually, you know what? I don't know if I don't want to explore any more about this right now. Because I highly encourage you guys to check this out, but do check it out with an open mind. Again, this show won't be for everybody because there are a lot of weird things that do go on into this series. They do explain certain things, but again, I do like what the show tries to do is that they don't feed you a lot of information of what goes on to the planet. Those characters are stranded on a planet they don't know anything about. So when they don't know, you don't know, but you're taken in by their experience of what they're encountering on the planet. And I like that. It makes it even more intense and scary at the same time, where you don't know, but they're experiencing certain things. You you feel the same way as the character is feeling. This is a visually stunning animated show. I highly recommend it. I might even have it up to par with one of my another favorite sci-fi shows that I really love, the Love, Death, and Robots. Check this out. It's currently on Netflix. Do check it out. Let me know if you have seen it. Comment below. Let me know what is your favorite underrated television show.